Class in session, guys. Hope everyone is doing well out there in the YouTube world. So I thought I'd drop this video because recently I'm very big on audiobooks, guys, and I've been listening to an audiobook right now called The Magic of Thinking Big. Now, I'm very big on personal development growth. Date of this video, I've actually been on this path for a good 12 years now. And one thing I will definitely say, guys, is personal development is the way to go. And, we get out of life the result of who we are. And, we are infinite beings, and it's all about experiencing what our highest potential is in life. And I feel that for a long time, people can have their growth stunted just by situations, circumstances, and experiences that happen in our lives, that we kind of just shut ourselves down. We start being self-critical, we start judging ourselves, and more importantly, we stop believing in ourselves. And when I've been listening to this audiobook, it really actually started to get my mind working in the sense of, ooh, hold on, maybe I need to reflect on what I wrote down in terms of what I wanted, be a little bit more specific with my goal setting and stuff like that. But there were two chapters specifically that was speaking to me, and one was a chapter about managing your environment, and the other chapter was about the goal setting. Now, I just want to touch a little bit on managing your environment. Now, when I say manage your environment, I'm talking about who you have around you and where your energy is going, because when you've got certain negative influences around you, just genuine negative people that say stuff, or people that just chat a lot of trash, right? It's not really going to aid you in your growth. And you have to manage your environment by just kind of getting rid of those people, or really just limiting the amount of time that you have around them. And, since I pretty much moved into my own space, I've definitely managed my environment. I'm not around certain people anymore. And it's helped me just become a lot more focused on what I'm doing and where I'm going. It's helped me manage my time a lot more. It's even given me the ability to do things that I couldn't do if I was around those people. So it goes back to that video, the first video I dropped in regards to moving out of your parents' home. I dropped that. Yeah, that was the first one I dropped. So the second thing I want to talk about in regards to managing your environment, guys, is words are so powerful. We have a conscious and subconscious mind, and we instruct ourselves to either do things or not do things based on our words and statements that we repeatedly say. So if you was to say, I don't have time, I can't do this, guess what? You won't have time and you won't be able to do it, because you've just instructed yourself to not do it. And you've stopped your brain from even attracting thought processes that's gonna actually help you get ideas for that thing that you said you wanted to do, right? So this is deep, guys. Like, this is really, really deep. Now, if you was to say certain things like, I know a lot of people, for example, that say, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. And guess what? That's why they don't know. And there's a lot of people that like to stay in their comfort zone. But when you start asking the question of, how can I get better at what I'm doing, whatever it is, you will actually start to attract certain answers as to how you can get better with that specific thing that you've asked to be better at, whether it's your job or whether it's writing, getting better at your writing. That's definitely a question that I'm asking. You know, how can I get better at my writing so I can write more compelling, engaging scripts? So when that eventually goes into production, you know, I've got the best quality script that I could have. And here's another thing for people that say, you know, they're great at what they do, or they're fine where they are. It's just another, it's basically just another way of saying you're in a comfort zone. Even if you are great at what you do, there is always room for self-improvement. So always ask the question, how can I get better? And the other chapter I was talking about, it's regard to goal setting. So one thing I did do at the beginning of 2020, guys, is I did write down some goals, and they were specific. And I remember I actually wrote down 109 things in a book of what I wanted, right? And the one thing I've neglected is periodically and consistently reading it. It's like I wrote it in a book, but I kind of left it aside. But you know, we can't focus on 109 things. We need to kind of narrow that down to, at the very least, one thing, right? And it's about being very detailed with the goal as well. Like, I can ask you the question, well, where do you see yourself in 10 years? How do you want it to be? How do you see yourself in 10 years? And then you start breaking it down into categories, breaking it down into career, 10 years, you know, where do you desire to be? You know, relationships, 10 years, where do you desire to be? Spiritual life, where do you desire to be? Finances, where do you desire to be with your finances? How much would you like to be in possession of? See, we're dealing with a universe that likes specifics. Albert Einstein says, God does not play dice with the universe. Everything is mathematical precision. And, you know, this has only started to click a lot more recently. And I'm definitely going to reflect and rewrite some stuff, guys. It's all good having a vision wall or a vision board, but you actually need some kind of instruction. So I'm looking at this wall right now, which is actually a plain wall. My vision wall is right over there. And I'm going to be having some instructions on the wall, something that I consistently see every day, reading it every day. And that taps into automatic suggestion, guys. It's just constantly going in. If you are to read newspapers every day or listen to the news every day and it's all negative, that is auto-suggestion. It's the same principle, just a different quality of information. So I'm going to leave that one right there with you guys. And for those of you who have not listened to the audiobook of The Magic of Thinking Big, I suggest you start right there. And also, if you prefer to physically read a book, they do have a paperback and hardback copy. So comment, like, subscribe, tap that bell button for notifications. Comment below for any more videos that you would like me to drop, guys. Holla back.